Good evening, everybody. RASHIDA STROBER here. The world's first and only dark-skinned activist is in the building. I am the creator, the founder, the architect of the first platform in history to fight to end what some people call colorism, but I call it darkism. And I started this movement in 1998 before there was social media, before there was YouTube, before there was all these reality TV shows. And I called the movement dark skin activism. And dark skin activism is once again the first platform to fight to end colorism. If you don't know who I am and my history, I'm going to tell you what you could do. You could Google me, or you can go to my website, darkskinactivist.com, or you can go read one of my books, actually Darkism, a book that I wrote, Darkism, 25 Ways Dark-Skinned People Are Discriminated Against. You can go to my website, darkskinactivist.com, and download a free ebook copy of that book. Now, I'm also a big fan of Ready to Love. I have been watching the show since it first came out, and I'm the first one on YouTube. Yep, I'm taking my credit because people have been plagiarizing and stealing from me for years on YouTube, but you're not the dark-skinned activist. I am the first one to critique Ready to Love from a darkism/colorism perspective. And today is no different. I watched the last episode of Ready to Love. And I'm going to tell you, one of the people that, first of all, I got to say I'm not impressed with this season of Ready to Love at all. I've watched Ready to Love since it first came out. And in my opinion, I think this might be one of the most lackluster seasons, because if you look at the other Ready to Love seasons and compare it, you will understand what I mean. If you've been a fan of the show, you will understand what I mean. But I want to talk about, Ready to Love from a different angle tonight. And most of the time, I always critique the men and their darkism. I talk about the men and how they always pick, or the majority of the time, I ain't going to say always, but the majority of the time, they choose the light-skinned woman over the dark-skinned woman, even if she possesses the so-called characteristics that they want. They still would choose. And so y'all know, y'all look at my channel, I already done made videos about the one I can't stand, Janelle. I don't like her. The reason I don't like her is because I feel she is a darkist. I feel she does use her light skin privilege, and she knows she has it, and she's a fucking bully, and I don't like it. And she's not pretty. She's not pretty on the outside, and she ain't pretty on the inside. And Quentin is a coward. So let me be clear about that. And I already done made videos about them and how I feel. So I'm not going to go into detail about that. If y'all want to hear my commentary about that, y'all can go watch my other videos. But now I want to talk about a different side of darkism that I think sometimes that women, we inflict on each other, where we throw each other under the bus. All right. So this episode of Ready to Love, the men, the one previous, the men had the power to eliminate, and they put Jessica on the chopping block. And one of the critiques that they had of Jessica was that Jessica was combative. Now, let me just say this. I do believe that the word combative is a stereotype that has been used against Black women unfairly in a lot of situations. I will 100% agree to that. Okay? Especially dark-skinned women, we're the ones that's always seen as combative. So I'm kind of surprised on this episode of Ready to Love that the men are being fair and not accusing the dark-skinned women, the Lees and the Katarinas, which are actually the nicest ones on the show, of being combative. They're not doing that. But what they are doing in terms of darkism, and Chris, he actually called it out, so I'm not going to include him in on this. The men are not calling out light-skinned Janelle. She's the most combative person on the show. She's argumentative, she's violent, she wants to fight, and none of the men are calling her out. But sometimes there are other forms of aggression that Black women can use or show that can undermine other Black women. Now, let me just say this from the outset. I don't believe that Jessica is combative. I don't believe she's combative, because a combative person is one that behaves like Janelle, fighting, angry, want to, just looking for an argument, looking to start some shit. That's not what I've seen from Jessica. That's not what I've seen from her. And Jessica is not dark skinned. Jessica is not light skinned. Jessica is in the brown skin category. Okay. Jessica, in a lot of ways, she's kind of stayed under the radar. She hasn't been like really, really out there. She hasn't been aggressive and talkative and just like out there like some of the other women are. And I don't know if that's the camera work or what, but I'm going based off of what I see. But what I did see is I saw another side of Jessica that is just as dangerous. And this can be dangerous to Black men and Black women. And as we saw her behavior, even though it was low key on the low, it was very dangerous to Chris. And also, I feel detrimental and dangerous to Lee and Katarina. So here's the thing. Jessica and Chris, when they first came, when the show first started, they had a connection. I can't really say what happened. I don't know what happened because I don't feel that Ready to Love OWN really showed everything. But whatever the reasons may be, Chris and Jessica decided, hey, you're not for me, I'm not for you. And that was it. One of the things I want to say to women, if a man or a woman for that matter, a man or a woman, it doesn't matter, if someone does not want to be with you, if they decide that you're not a good fit for them, that's no reason to be mean, nasty, vindictive towards that person. People can decide and choose who they want to be with. That's just the way that it works. There is nothing that we could do about that. It's no need for the nasty. And I think that what happened in Chris and Jessica's case is Jessica, I think she seemed to, from the earlier footage, like Chris. Okay. I think at the Black Hoedown, they was hanging out arm in arm. She liked Chris, but it didn't work out. And I'm not saying it's her fault. I'm not saying it's his fault. I don't know. But from what I could gather from watching the show is, she just wasn't his speed. And she found out that apparently he wasn't her speed. They weren't compatible. It happens. Sometimes in life, you're just not compatible with a person. And again, I want to stress, it's no reason to be mean, nasty, vindictive, and angry towards that person. What you do is you walk the fuck away and go about your business and let that person live. From what I seen on the show, after the guys came and said, we feel that Jessica is combative, Jessica was angry. She was angry. And it was this kind of low-key, simmering anger. It wasn't the type of anger that Janelle with her big bullying ass has. Loud mouth, all the stuff that dark-skinned women get accused of and we get stereotyped for, but the Black men kept Miss Piggy on the show. I don't like her at all because I don't like the way she's treated the dark-skinned women on that show. But Jessica, Jessica is low-key. She's the type of person, from what I gather, that is quiet with her get back. Okay. She sits back. She doesn't say much. She has this look on her face. And for me, if the men on the show would have said I was combative, and they had me on the chopping block, and she don't really have no other connections there. She claims to have a connection with Marie. I hope I'm pronouncing his name right, but I don't see it. I don't believe that she really likes Marie. I don't believe it. From what y'all got to understand, we are the fans and we got to go off of what we see on the camera. The chemistry isn't there. I don't see it. So to me, you don't really have a connection. So why stay there? Why stay there and antagonize these men and start asking them, who said they don't like me? Who called me combative, rather? That's what the whole thing seemed to be about. Moping around. Just leave. It's not. I could have like respected her more, because I'm getting to the point. I'm gonna jump ahead of, I feel she provoked Chris and she was happy that he was angry at her. And I feel that was very vindictive and vengeful. And you have to watch them type of people. You have to watch them type of people that sit back quietly while you are upset, while they provoke you, they poke the bear, but they sit back quietly and act like they ain't did nothing. Those are the most vicious type of people. And to me, I don't trust them type of people. I don't. Because, like I said, my thing is, why not just leave? You know, why not just leave? If you feel such a way about these men not picking you, not choosing you, they calling you vindictive or combative, just leave. But she had to stay there. And her actions and her behavior, to me, it undercut the dark-skinned women on the show who Chris did have a connection with. It was sort of this thing with Jessica, and she didn't say it out of her mouth. It's her actions. I can read people pretty damn good, and I could just see it all over her. The vindictiveness. Again, I don't see the combative part, but I saw the vindictive, vengeful, I'm going to get you revengeful behavior. And she, in the process, she threw the two dark-skinned women under the bus that Lee ain't did nothing to her that we have seen. Katarina ain't did nothing to her that we have seen. But in her mind, to me, from what it comes across, if she can't be with Chris, then no way in hell was she going to keep him on the show so that Lee or Katarina could have a chance. During the ladies' lounge where they was discussing this, she even threw a shady comment towards Lee about the gift that Chris had given her. So I'm saying to myself, why not be, if you and him, because you know this is a dating show where everybody dates everybody, and if you and him can't make it, let another Black woman be happy. And this is what we got to stop doing as Black women. Stop trying to undercut other Black women. I don't agree with that. I don't condone that. I'm not calling her no home wrecker, but I'm just making some examples of how sometimes us as women undercut. Stop coming in on other Black women relationships. Stop cheating, mess around with married men. Stop, if you know a man and a woman going through some shit, stay the fuck out of it. Stop undercutting your Black women. If you're supposed to be about Black empowerment, female empowerment, why would you do that? Why would you do that to another Black woman? And when I sat there at the table, or when she sat at the table, her and Chris, and I watched when they were doing the eliminations, Chris should not have went home. Mariere is the one that doesn't have real connections. Mariere doesn't have real connections. Mariere should have went home. Jessica, you should have went home. The people that have real connections are Lee, Katarina, and Chris. Aries, and I forgot the gentleman's name, and the two people I don't like. Okay? Those people actually do have real connections. But because you don't have a real connection with this man and he didn't, y'all didn't work out, you get angry and you want to destroy the other Black women's chances. That to me is evil behavior. You might not be combative, but you are vengeful, you are vindictive, and you did Chris wrong. You did Chris wrong. Okay? And Chris had simply had enough. And I don't blame Chris for what he said to her, because he was absolutely right. Like I said, she the type that sit back, they be done dirt, knowing that they done did dirt, and they'll sit back and watch somebody else explode or get upset. That's evil to me. That is pure evil to me. That type of behavior is evil. And try to act like, well, I ain't did nothing. You did do something. You were mad because Chris did not choose you, and you were angry about that combative comment, and you put your stake in it in regards to the eliminations. And man, y'all are very, very, very shady. I know y'all doing it for ratings, but I'm saying if the goal and the objective is for a Black man and a Black woman to come together on the show, then why engage in petty behavior like this? Y'all already know that they were no match. Y'all already knew that they already decided, hey, we done. We're not compatible. Why put them together? Oh, for ratings. But it hurts. It hurt the other Black women on the show. And I feel it hurt the dark-skinned women. I said the dark-skinned women. I said the dark-skinned women. I feel it hurt on that show the most. The most victimized by darkism. And that's not right. So while Jessica, while you don't want to be seen as combative, I would agree with you. I don't see you as combative, but I do see you as vengeful. I do see you as mean. I do see you as it's a sneaky kind of low-key behavior. And I personally wouldn't trust you at all. I do see you as poking the bear. I do see you as spiteful. And all this came out because you were so angry that Chris didn't choose you and somebody on that show called you combative, and you took it out on the other two Black women. I know y'all may not read it that way, but that's how I see it, because Chris, the connection of the two dark-skinned women is gone. Gone. And you're not going to have Jessica. I don't know why you're sticking around on the show. You're not going to have a real connection. There's no real connection on that show for you. It's not there. Unless OWN ain't showing some things and y'all know some stuff we don't know from what we see as the viewer, and we have a right to critique because we're the audience, we're the viewer. I don't see no connection. And that's my take. That's my commentary. darkskinactivist.com. Once again, darkskinactivist.com. If you want to make a donation, the Cash App is $Rashida Lala. Once again, that's $Rashida Lala, $Rashida Lala. All my donations and my website and all my stuff can be found in the description to my lives. You can also go to the comment section of my videos, and you'll find information there too. As Black women, we have got to do better towards each other.